last simple like you have to I don't know you have a say shake Musamai, and I'm going to be your host tonight, right? So before we go any further into our seminar, I just want us to know our guests. That's Karabo Manzani. And then we also have our patron, Honorable Councillor Dominic Kwena. He is. And then we also have our fellow resident assistants, starting with Ms. Chayana Muzila here. Great. She's the RA at, are you still in RA? She's no longer in RA, guys. She's a former RA. We also have another RA, Kennedy Banzi. He's the RA at the singles block that side. We also have another guest as an RA, Mandipa Sabano. I'm sure she's on her way. When she gets here, we'll introduce her. We also have a representative from Social Work Society. She's the president, Nicole Jeremiah. She's also on her way. We have former SRC, that's Franz Ngoma. We also have our former president, former BUA president, that is Patrick Mutu. Great. That is it with our guest speakers. I now want to introduce the BUA EC so that you know the people that are behind this whole event, the people that are going to be inviting you time and time again, week in, week out, for events such as this one, right? EC, may you guys kindly come forward so that our guests here can see you. Most of them are not here, guys. They have other commitments, but next week's event, you will definitely see them. And we also have our treasurer, that's Paco. And then we also have Tabang, that's our head of discipline. And I'm also here as the head of work camps. Yes.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
I forgot one very important lady in our committee. She's our PRO from time and time again. So please cooperate with her. This is our Putero. She's our PRO in the club. Great. So that's it with the introductions. We're now going to be going on with our program, Society Efficient Club, and we cannot start anything without a prayer. And our volunteer for tonight's prayer is going to be Kennedy Banzi. Over to you, sir.
Are we ready to pray? Okay. Before we pray, I would like to share with you the word of God. Amen. Yes. Let us open our Bibles. Romans 14, verse 19. The committee from the 449, they know the verse. Romans 14, verse 19. What makes the next person better? Are we together?
Yes.
Yes, I guess that's the purpose of this meeting. That's the purpose of this seminar. To come and share the knowledge with one another. We can stand up so that I can pray.
A few moments later.
Now we're going to go on today's business. Student Leadership Seminar. Who can tell us what a seminar is? From when we are just here, we don't know what we are here for. What is a seminar? Should I randomly pick? Yes. What is a seminar? I recognize your presence. Okay. A seminar is a gathering for purposes of discussion or training. We are here to do both. We are here to discuss and we are here to train you. Guys, we want you guys to be good leaders. We want to teach you how we did it. We want to inform you of the challenges that come with leadership and the benefits thereon. I myself, I've been in RA for 3 consecutive years. Firstly at 478, singles block, and now at 48. So you're in good hands. I invited the best of the best that the university has ever created and the best that this club has ever had. So we're going to go on and call our first guest speaker, our LLC Ambassador Chairperson, Karabo Manza.
Me here, as they have said, Kemna Karabo, or LLC Chairperson for the academic year 23-2024. So now Monday Dwaimaha today is going to introduce what is leadership to you. And then furthermore, I'll go to talk about LLC. Protocol was highly observed, but let me jump into what we are here for. One of you, Piero, one of you can ask yourself, what is leadership? Is there any one of you who can describe what is leadership? With the philosophy that I've read, leadership is the action of leading a group of people or organization. When we say people, we mean this. When we say organization, you all understand that?
Yeah.
So there are different types of leaders that you can become. First, we have the autocratic leader. The autocratic leader. This one, we call it the authoritative leader. By the way, they go by the book. If section 24 tells you if someone steals a pen from the company, him or her, they did a crime and shall be expelled. They go accordingly to the book, no matter how those people have made any success through the business or through the organization. Are we quite clear there? We are talking about developing leaders, no matter which angle do you come from. The third one, we call it the paternalistic leader. This one, we say they take their subordinates as a family man, where trust is being built. If I were Remanyatsa here, the president, there, and he's not there, then he leaves the company or the organization into Otilia's hands, or some of you here, or any random here, into their hands. It means Remanyatsa trust Otilia. That's what we call a paternalistic leader, fair, or the delegative leader. This one, all that he does is just the CEO, is just the president. All he do is say, Ramsam, do that. My secretary, write this. Work hands, do this. You do this. All that he does is just to sit on the chair and enjoy the aircon of the office, or enjoy the benefits of the club. That's not the leader that we want. I want a leader which can stay on the ground, be able to put him or herself into the shoes of others, whereby he's able to relate or no. If I have the executive committee and they are eating sweets like here, what about the one who's behind me? So, we want those kind of leaders who have empathy for others. Do you understand? There are many different kinds of leaders. When listen, what is a leader? A leader needs to lead a team, needs to inspire others, set goals for himself and the team. That is a very challenging part there. It's a very difficult part there.
One eternity later.
So, how to become a good leader? I've talked about empathy. Is there anyone who wants to add how to become a leader? I I want people who are very interactive when I do a presentation. You know, I'm a professional teacher, and I take you as my students, and I want you also to give me your side of your opinion, so that I hear from your side. From my side, yes, I'm built on a comfort zone here. But what about you? What kind of a leader do you desire to be? Looking at your past experience of different kinds of leaders. Number 2, you need to have that self-awareness. Look around.
2 hours later.
Does he have self-awareness? Does he have that thing? From the WhatsApp, that thing. A leader needs to have impact. Being able to put him or herself into others' shoes. Ramayana might be always have that disciplinary committee whereby they punish the others when they are at work camps. I'm thinking about this because I see the president of Works. I once visited that trip. I have 1 minute. Wow. Okay. Yes, they did punish me. I went there as a leader, but when I got to that club, I became a regular member like any of others. I didn't want to be recognized as someone. You know, I wanted to feel the other side. And they punished me and they abused me, these guys. You know, it's not over. So, being me as a leader, I have experienced a lot of pain, joy, growth, and development. If you are a leader, you need to know how to solve a problem. You need to know how to avoid a problem. You need to motivate your subordinates at all times when you meet. When I say to avoid a problem, I mean when Patrick and Sir Dominic here are gossiping about Mamuzila here, and you are there amongst them, you need to say, no, I can't be part of this. You know, walk away. Lanzar. In that way, you are avoiding conflict and problems. For me, that's all for the presentation. Now for the LLC part. I'm an ambassador, LLC ambassador. We do recreational activities for the students. We develop students' leadership program. Rem Goma was a former SRC. He was groomed from the LLC. Now, when I do you want to fight us? But he was groomed by LLC. Ramayana was there. Look where he is. Patrick was there. Look where he is. The hands of LLC. If all of you as students can unite and try to have a common goal of developing others into leadership, we will have a better ground of developing others' leadership. It took courage for them to do this. So this semester we planned activities such as Squabble, Trivia Night, Mr. and Miss LLC. What more? What more did we do after activities? And we have intervarsity debate. For the first time, we'll be debating with other institutions. We need to see what the other institutions like that. So from now I mentioned like that. From all of you, who can answer me what is LLC? Yes. Living and learning community. Living and learning community. Living and learning community. I need to give something to them. You gave me something. I'm sorry. So I'm putting myself into their shoes. Living and learning community. You gave me something, sir. Thank you. So we have this. It's a grand prize for this one. You know, I want to eat it, but I'm being a leader here. That's right. Has any one of you of the second years attended the Living and Learning program? Just be honest. What did you do? What is your experience?
Give me
Yes, we express about it. In brief, Nakwani say. Error.
There are various activities that I've had the fortune of attending.
Yes.
Some were sporting activities, some we had the work TV and over and above things, it's the company that you get to know a lot of people from there. So it creates an easy environment for you to learn.
Thank you. Social development is there.
Thank you.
Have a go on next.
Patron, Honorable Councillor Sir Dominic Quinn.
A protocol observed just to save time. Kibidiwa Dominic Kwena, as aforementioned, he councillor of village ward, unless otherwise. I've been given the very brief slot to touch base on issues of national leadership and tertiary leadership, how it helps you to transform. As a leader, from my experience, what I've learned at national level is that you need to be informed about what is happening, not just in your area, but at a global level. You need to be up to date with issues, with all the issues. It's very frustrating to hear a leader not aware of what is happening across the border or at global level, and yet you expect them to push the agenda that is in relation to what is happening global-wise. And so from what I've experienced as a leader is that you need to be informed about issues. If you are not informed about issues, you run the risk about talking about things that are irrelevant, that are past, and that are of no use to your constituents, let alone your employees if it's at corporate level. Someone who's time conscious as a leader, they need to find us here. Leaders, you need to be time conscious, not just in meetings, but even in implementing whatever decisions you have, whether decisions of the board, the committee, the council, or anything. Whatever you want to achieve, you need to put a timeline to it and execute it just that. Another not so good experience, of course, that I've had is, you know, when you are a leader sometimes at national level, you don't have a job description. You are just a mob that sweeps across every room. Whether it's issues of social welfare, whether it's manyalo, school, everything else that happens in the neighborhood, sometimes people don't even know. Also, how the CEO or people would expect you to, you know, from grassroots level to management level. And already work at management level. Now, was any ways through the different systems, so it is up to you as a leader to know what is happening, everything, and to be ready to be a mob that does everything. I mean, that's how it builds one person who have all these experiences in life. Collective responsibility. Whatever you do as a team, it's on us and it's not on me. We fail together, we progress together. If the committee has failed to organize this meeting, it's not about the president, but the president did not book the venue, he did not invite the people, the PRO did not do the flyers with all these people. No, it is us. The failure reflects entirely on us. Just like how they are saying, well, only an individual. I mean, how does that reflect on your family? You are doing that on your own behalf. You are not doing it for on behalf of the family. So you should know, or whatever you do, collectively and individually, it's why it's accountable. And self-confidence, I think as a leader, you need to have confidence and the ability to be able to present issues across to the next person. If you are going to try and push the mandate of a company, a business, a club, even if you are a person who's going to be like this, people are going to eat you out. And you not be able to. So having the confidence and understanding what you're talking about is important as a leader. a confident leader of other watches. I can be so for a Harry Poland English. Once I see myself on English to my hand. Just because my two was to my hand, we have to ask the hand. Thank you for inviting me to this occasion. I'm humbled.
Thank you for that. This is our patron. They are influential in our societies. Moving on, I've invited my fellow resident assistants to come and share with you how they became resident assistants, what the job entails, the challenges and the benefits that come with the job. And I'm going to invite former resident assistant China Mozilla to share her experience with us.
I am expected to share my leadership experience as a former resident assistant. First and foremost, I would address the challenges that I met. And one of those challenges is her, Mandipa. She was one of the challenges I came across. She was one of the challenges I came across when it was my first time as a resident assistant. She was very bold. She was doing first year. I was the resident assistant at Block 473. She was very bold. The first message she sent me was that she needs 2 she-beans and 1 ablution. Hela, we had a problem. I had to seek Mr. Debota's help, and he actually hung up on her when she called. That's when I took a sigh of relief. But apart from that, besides that, for you to become a resident assistant, it's normally a post, so you have to apply. And I think the last time I checked, you have to have a GPA of 3.0 and above. So it's for people with brains. I'm not trying to discriminate or anything, but you have to be good up there. From there, you get an interview. Well, the last time we had an interview, they said it was a written interview. And to our surprise, it was actually not a written interview. So you had to face a panel of like 5 people. I was shaking by then. So as a leader, for me personally, you have to have emotional intelligence. You have to be able to manage your emotions very well. During my time at Block 473, the first time I was a resident assistant, it was so bad. I've never told this to anyone, but it was so bad I had to go for counseling. It happens. So you have to have a support system. I went to UB at the counseling office and student center, and it actually helped. You have to be able to balance schoolwork. Like I said before, it's for people with brains. You must understand that before you are a resident assistant, you are a student, and your parents expect a lot from you. So don't just focus on reporting for maintenance about the placa. Don't just focus on now check the pay date and the cut date. Also know that you have a purpose here. Also, you have to have a social life. Personally, I don't have a social life. Like Nigeria or wrestling, that's me. Apart from that, I'm sleeping or I'm attending my classes. That's just me. But for you, you have to have a social life. Friday, do some Kota Gaiti will advise you on that. It's very good at that. and also, I think for me, it's because I grew up in a family where my father is a businessman, he's self-employed. So he taught me one thing. In a business, there are 2 doors, the front door and the back door. No matter how strict you are, there is always the back door in an organization. So do not try to be too strict. Little the back door. Because it's going to be a problem for you. Be strict, but don't be too strict. But always know at the back of your mind, or there is always the back door. Now, for me to try and cope with leadership, there is this one man. I normally read his books a lot. His name is Mumpuluki Makwana. If you Google him or Amwana in LinkedIn, he is a professional coach, life coach, together with his wife Nikita. I think, yeah, they're both professional life coach. So I bought this book, Personal Leadership for Teenagers, because I wanted to understand what, as a leader, what is expected from me. So I bought this book. It has actually helped me a lot. It has got 10 personal commitments. And just to summarize a few, as a leader, you shouldn't just be concerned about who boosts your CV. Know that you are there to serve someone. So be selfless. Again, I'm a resident assistant. CV with 2 experiences of being a resident assistant. Have I changed someone's life as a resident assistant? That should be one of the things you have to consider. And you have to commit to getting better daily. One of my former classmates in Masonga Senior once told me, every day, reflect back on your day. What did you do good? What did you do bad? Write down those things. Tomorrow, try to correct that which you did bad. Tomorrow, try to do more of which you did good yesterday. So every day at a time, when you go to bed, reflect on what you did during the day. So as a leader, again, you should respect others. You should value others. And one more thing, stop blaming others. Like I think it's Ramanthani mentioned here. I'll give an example of 473 because that was one hell of a ride. My dear committee went missing. But they really didn't, there was nothing missing. I think they were just clueless for the way we number our rooms for 473, 474, and 472. I think it's 236, but you can't find a room here with the number room 100. Ground floor, room 1 to 28. First floor, 101 to, I think it's 160, am I right? I'm not quite sure. Then the second floor, 201 to 236, I think. There is no room 100. So we collected 5 pullers to buy brooms. They actually thought that the amount of money was going to be, I guess there are 2 roommates, so it's probably 10 puller times 236. They were expecting 2,360 pool. So I told them, go to 474, count the number of rooms, and come back to me and show me that there is room 100 in 474. Room 236. So it was a problem. And for that, I had few of my committee members were good there and there, but so I had to take responsibility for that. Cyberbullying and others, that's when I had to go for counseling. But as you go on, there is growth, you heal as time goes on. And as a resident assistant in the singles block, I had a very nice time. Maybe it's because they understand that the only problem we had is on Friday, because I can't but apart from that, we were good friends. I've made very good friends there. He was a good partner. He was a good person to work with. So I think apart from that, there's also so you have got nothing to worry about. So actually, sometimes when I'm with my friends, when maybe some of my residents, hi China, so my friend will be like, when I was at Sipor, no research high, and I'm there like, ke motho wa batho, so be motho wa batho, be jolly, o ska nna strict thata, don't report them for each and everything that they do. Be strict, but don't be too strict. Don't take nonsense, but also sometimes take a little bit of nonsense there and there. But apart from that, I think you're going to enjoy your journey as a student leader. And also, one last thing, I would advise you take development courses. I took one titled Business Administration, working with customers and teams. I'm actually a law student, so I know that along the way I'm actually going to work in a team, I'm going to work with clients, and also as a resident assistant, I had to work with my partner Reshix. I had to work with the students who were my customers at that time. So I had to take the course, I had to develop myself as a resident assistant. Thank you.
My name is Mandipa Amanta Kabano, and I am a resident assistant. I also hold the positions of Minister of External Affairs and Partnership at Palace, and I also am the Minister of Partnership and Relations at UBFS. So I was invited to this seminar to talk about leadership and to just express to you guys how it has been for me and the benefits that it has. So I am a resident assistant, and the same way I got the job, I was introduced to the job by her, and like she said, I really gave her a problem because when I came to university, I decided that, you know what, I'm going to rebrand myself. I was a very shy person, believe it or not. I couldn't stand in front of people like this. I would shake. I had so much anxiety, but when I came to university, I decided that no one knows me here. No one knows where I come from. No one knows what I've been through. So I'm just gonna come here and rebrand myself. So she doesn't know that me talking to her and just being expressive was me trying to just come out of my shell. And after that, I joined the LLC committee. Like he said, you know, it starts from LLC. I joined the LLC committee. I was the head of house for 473. And put themselves out there, but I just decided that I'm going to do it, and I was the only one interviewed for it. I obviously got it, and I was really clashing with her. I was really clashing with her. I actually ended up leaving the LLC committee because I felt as though I was the only one carrying the burden of the LLC committee, and that's what leadership is sometimes. You will be met with people that you have to lead that will not be putting in the work. So yeah, I became a resident assistant. She posted the advertisement on the group, and I was also a class captain. I do law as well. I'm a third-year law student. I was a class captain in my first year, so I used that as my experience, and I knew the lecturers, so they did everything for me. And when I came, my interview was my first ever interview. And I didn't know what dressing formal. I didn't have any formal clothes, but I had to make a plan. I went there, and you know, being faced by 4 or 5 elders just looking at you and asking you questions, and you just don't know what to say and you're shaking. That was me, but you know, I guess I managed, and I got the job the next year. And then my first year as a resident assistant was very hectic. It's not easy leading children, especially first years. You know, they come here, it's first time freedom, and everyone just wants to go all over the place and do so many things. And I was also dealing with foreigners, so I was dealing with people from Swaziland. I was an RA at 472 in my first year. So they come at 5 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning, and I have to go open doors. And another thing with my block that I had to deal with was the fact that we had a lot of break-ins. You know, there are a lot of thieves in UB. So I had to deal with calling protections every single time, almost every week. Every week there's a break-in. This one time, there was a man who broke the middle window at our blocks and got inside the rooms. And just to imagine what he could have done to those kids. But I had to be the leader, and I had to, you know, provide them with comfort and, you know, yeah. And the benefits of being an RA, number one, you're paid. That was my main reason for applying because allowance is not enough, ne? So allowance is not enough. So yes, I applied mainly because of that, and you also get accommodation, free accommodation. But like I said, and as she has explained, it comes with a cost. It's not easy balancing school, balancing friends, balancing relationships, and balancing the job as well. I really had to know how to prioritize. What should I do first? What do I let go of? You know, sometimes being a resident assistant is what I've been doing all week, but I have cases that I have to read, 66-page cases that I haven't read, and tests are coming up, so I had to learn how to balance. So, like she says, and I would like to emphasize, you really need to learn how to balance if you want to be a leader. And once you prioritize, make sure you're disciplined to stick to those priorities. If you decide that this semester I'm going to attend all my lessons, do that. You build confidence in yourself by being disciplined. You build trust in yourself by knowing that I will do what I say I want to do. If it's gym, you go to gym. You build trust in yourself like that, knowing that when you have a goal and you can implement steps to reach that goal. Another thing is be intentional. By the way, I'm giving advice, okay? Another thing is be intentional about your plan for your future. I am someone who writes everything down. I know I'm here in UB for 5 years. I planned year 1, I planned year 2, I planned year 3, I have a plan for year 4, I have a plan for year 5. And surprisingly, everything is going exactly as I planned. I planned to be a resident assistant in year 3. I plan to be a resident assistant in year 2. I plan to hold the positions that I'm holding right now. And if you believe, if you're a religious person, you understand that you write everything down and you give it to God, and whatever He grants you, whatever He rejects, is just Him guiding you. Another thing I wanted to say is utilize social media. I am a product of the Girls for Girls mentorship program, and I'm currently in the corporate millennial mentorship program. All these programs, they give certificates, and I saw on social media, I get to network with Bo, Tsaone Bedi, and stuff like that. So I really utilize whatever I see on social media and put myself out there on LinkedIn to be able to gain opportunities. And the leadership positions that I hold, I'm able to validate myself and, you know, advertise myself to other institutions and qualify to be part of those institutions. I advise that you do everything and be intentional about it. Seek out opportunities that are going to help you in where you want to go. Another thing I wanted to say is it's best to suffer now and you will later reap the benefits. I know they said go out, but don't overdo it. If you overdo it, you're not going to graduate and you'll be retaking. You're not be moving on with life, getting jobs, getting cars and stuff like that. So learn how to balance and build the confidence for leadership. As you can see, I started really small and I wasn't good at it. Even right now, I had to fight through fear, anxiety to come up here and stand. But knowing that I have been in this position before and I have managed to build the confidence to stand before you here today, and just swallow whatever fear that I have and just get through it. The last thing that I want to say, I hope I didn't take much of your time, is this life is yours and you only get out of it what you put in. So the effort that you put in is exactly what you will reap. If you put in 10%, you will get 10%. If you put in 50%, you will get 50%. If you don't study, you won't pass. You can't, not do anything and then pray to God that, oh, please 50% of you know what I mean? So that is it. So thank you so much.
That's it from Ms. Mandipa. She's a regional assistant, like she said. She's a law student, like she said. And you've heard her advice about being an RA for those of you that want to be RAs in the future. The last speaker, when it comes to resident assistants, is Kennedy Bandi. Please make it brief. ANC is the only route to student leadership in the university. we have other organizations that you can still be a leader in, and we are going on to those. I would like to invite UB Social Work Society President, Ms. Nicole Jeremiah, to tell us about her organization and her student leadership journey. Ma'am?
It is only when you are out of your comfort zone to utilize leadership to make sure that you take action. I have heard them talking, and to them leadership is many things, but to me leadership is the ability for you to take action when you see something that is unfavorable or something that is happening in the community. And that's what determines what is social work is. Greetings everyone, good afternoon, whatever. I hope you had a good day. I go by the name Nicole Jeremiah, as the MC here has already stated. I thank everyone who are here, the guests and the attendees. We thank you very much for showing up here so that we as the UBSWS can also get first of all, what is social work? I'm doing 4th year BSW. In University of Botswana, we offer BSW and DSW. DSW is a diploma, and BSW is a bachelor, or what we call a degree in social work, right? So normally right now BSW is a 4 years course, whereas DSW is a 2 years course. But because we are improving, we will soon be making it a 3 year course, DSW. Social work is a based profession that promotes cohesion within the community or within our societies. It is also something that we use for the empowerment, for the liberation of the community members. So I want you to understand what we are saying. Social work is a based profession. Let me say what we do a lot of things. That is why we are a profession. We are what we call the jack of all trades. We include your social studies. We include your sociology. We include your politics. Psychology. Social work, we are the jack of all trades and master of none. I would like to move on and say that social work is also about leadership. How? For example, during the COVID-19, and that is why the government said social workers were the one who went to make sure the food hampers. That is leadership. When no one wants to take action, you raise up above and say, I will do it as a social worker. Now as the UBSWS, as he already mentioned, University of Botswana Social Work Society, it's a guy first and foremost, we are a charitable organization. It's 1999. But one of the people who funded it is still with us in our school, Dr. Kosisi Lemaribe. I don't know if a lot of you know him, but he's a very wise man who body research and everything.
My name has, as Rachel has already said, and I said earlier, is Kennedy Banti. I am the Secretary General for the Residence Assistant Committee. I am also the President of the University of Botswana Economic Society. Apart from that, I am also the founder with that man you see with a white shirt for the Learners Camp Academy, which it is mainly based on personal development. So my colleagues here have already said a lot. I'm going to touch on several issues that you need maybe to prepare before you get yourself into student leadership. The first one is to be a leader for yourself. Before you can stand before people and say you are going to lead them, can you live yourself, can you grow yourself in all these three parts of the body, of the human being? Can you bath yourself? Can you make yourself a gentleman? Can you lead yourself on that? if you can, then that means you have passed the first level to take care of your body. Lead yourself amongst all those things. You have now passed the stage 2 to being a leader for yourself. The third one is the spiritual leadership. You have to be able to take yourself from one step to another. Why do we need to take care of yourself first? It is because leadership is not about having power in that verse. It is about empowering. It is not about power, it's about empowerment. So if you cannot empower yourself, then who are you going to empower? That's where the problem of leadership crisis came from. That is why today the world is in a leadership crisis. It is because the people failed to lead themselves and expected to lead the people. The second important thing that I want to share with you, it is the attitude that you have. And I would relate it to the Bible. I'm a Christian. Yes. You know, God sees himself as the Lion of Judah. Why a lion? It is not the biggest animal. It is not the most bright animal. It is not the most tallest animal. But it is yet he regarded himself as the Lion of Judah. It is only because of this thing, attitude, the mentality that you have. The elephant respects the lion, not because it may be worse than any other animal or what. It is because of the mentality that the lion has when it is in a certain environment. When a lion comes in here, into this place, it doesn't see you as a Bakang LLC ambassador. It sees you as a meal for today. You understand that? When I was the resident assistant at the barracks, there was a problem of electricity. We did not have hot water. It was a problem. We had to queue every morning to bath. I did not see that as a big thing. I saw that as an opportunity to do what? To empower the committee. Are we together? Yes. Attitude is very, very important. How you see things is very, very important. You cannot. Attitude contributes to confidence. If you don't have the right attitude, then your confidence will be very, very poor. Yes, we accept anxiety, we accept you shaking in front of the people, but it shouldn't be consistent. You should show that you grow. Attitude. Are we together? Yes. Yes. Going forward, you must go and build yourself. Be content with yourself. Put your principles down, follow them. After that, what do? You become a leader.
UB on its own is a community. Limco is a community. As far as Extension 10 is a community, even other ones, they are communities. I get. So I want to what can we do about the marginalized people who are not being treated well? I get. So that is why re dira yone mokgatho oneo ile ba ithuti ka nako eo ka 1999 bata go dira mokgatho ono wa UBSWS. And when we are talking about marginalized people, we are talking ka batho ba ileng gore re ba kgaphela ka gore re ga ba botlhokwa. I get. At that time thata ne le batho ba ileng gore ke batho ba tshelang ka bogole, your LGBTQ and other batho ba ileng gore ba go tasenyana ka re ga ba ire sente ka ha madimo gore ba ka itshitsa sente. I get. And also, Hela, moving on, I would like to say now as the UBSWS, what are we really addressing? It's simple. We are social workers. We go around empowering people, the reset agenda. We make sure lele banana you are being able to sa direng jalo ta batho ba Modimo ke shwe. Really banana, we are being able to change our mindset and shift to a certain paradigm or a certain perspective. I get. The other thing is that we are addressing the cancer, HIV and AIDS. Hela ka go teng madikolo ana re setse re trenda ba ga etso re le ba madikolo gore madikolo ke go eleng gore sa ga ja se teng. Is something that it has always been there hela go ja khakala. I get. The reason being something le ba social work ra ba tsisa gore gona mme tota what went wrong? What happened to us as a country? I get. And the other thing that we are addressing is bana. Bana, they are very vulnerable people. Go tshwana hela le bahudi kana people who we call the destitute people. I get. Bana re na le dikgang tse eleng gore batho ba dirisa bana botlhatswa, bana ba lathelelo, which are in social work we call child neglect. I get. So based on these issues, starting hela from the young roots ba social work so that we can go and address these issues. I get bontsi bana go setswana se rutile gore kgang is all wa ke ba batona. I get. But we are saying for you to be responsible, because we are leaders, we want a generation which have very accumulated leaders. This is how you can go about it. Again, we are also addressing issues of unemployment. What is our vision as a society? Our vision is too simple. We address the negative outlooks of the community. Again, the mission is also to empower you as individuals. Again, and this is why we have the objectives, which is the cure, and change. We have a board similar like this. We are the society where we deal with care, cure, and change. That is cure. Again, we change in such a way. We have an annual trip December. But still, we don't have to forget at the back of our minds we are social workers. And that is why a social worker again, that is because people already have that perspective as a social worker. When you go something, you leave something. Again, so this annual December trip, and we leave something there that is sustainable. Again, and then the other thing is that just as like we offer volunteer services. Volunteer services, I believe everyone here knows. We start here from University of Botswana. We make sure you are in our UBSWS, connect student welfare for any opportunities that may rise. For everything that is hosted, body blood donation, volunteer services. And also we cultivate the profession. Because social worker are social worker. Whether you are doing law, whether you are doing BSc, you come to us. We help you cultivate your profession. Right now there are issues telling where they are trend. Baba ngoba poster gore ke thadile. Baba ngoba poster gore ra go ngwana ha supporting ngwana. I was going through Facebook and I was engaging my members here about the kanye trend mo madikolo ya gore ke ne ke una ntheza re ga like yo nkimisitse ya no wa blue ticker. And the concern for the people was munno ga te ona le mogala. Ra reng ya no nka tshana. But hela re sa bui hela senteng ya go nwa ka jwa re di prep di phepo ga re itse. But we are cultivating your profession. Is it wise? Is it an emotional intelligence or how when you are undergoing a situation? Is it wise to do that? It's wise. How is it wise? Exactly my point. the mindset of you guys Hillary Ogobatus. I get it. So to us as social workers, we are saying we are cultivating professional work. How Ogobatus you have to know what is called confidentiality. I get it. I will support a person who goes to Mutana Women and pose the very same issue. Why am I saying that? First of all, you are not exposing the face. Second of all, you are not exposing the name, but you are exposing the issue, and you can get help from the issue. Because you are even thinking for that person's mental health. I get it. Another man who is posted or whoever. Tomorrow, we don't know. He might even commit suicide. Because wherever he goes, get a face. I get wait a moment. So now social work, we have what we call integrity, competence, and confidentiality. This is how we cultivate your profession. We give you the emotional intelligence, and we give you the right attitude to do with the right problems at the right time and posting right. And then we also bridge the gap that is between the lecturers and students. We have instances where the whole class can get above or less than 50%. It's not a coincidence that the class will take 50%. We are saying that youth I believe we lack confidence. And that is why it's hard. Because plastic we lack confidence. So, Rari, 50% it's very hard for you to stand up and say lecture. To say you get the point. Hey, so as UBSWS, we make sure we address these issues. But anyways, for you to subscribe to our Makato is P50 Pula bucks per semester. So that is your 100 Pula. Thank you very much.
Francis Ngoma, and I'm the former Minister of Information and Publicity on the SRC 2022-2023, and I only served 2 months.
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn minute.
SRC is an independent body according to the University Statutes of 1982, and it consists of 13 portfolios. That is President, Vice Secretary, Treasurer, Admin, Secretary, and then the ministers, Student Affairs, Academics, Justice, Sports, Refectory, Wine Canteen, Entertainment, and Entertainment. So the functions, the major function of the SRC is to represent the students and be the advocates and other stakeholders. We work on the management and DTF and other universities, wherever SRC or the voice of students is wanted. So for you to be part of this SRC, what? Oh, we met towards the end of March and towards the beginning of. Elections are held towards the end of March and the beginning of April. Yes, that's when we hold a UBSRC elections, and you serve for the whole academic year. That is from August till March next year, the following year. So you can stand for elections as an independent individual, or you can affiliate with any movements that are in the university. You'll know about those Kanakoya at the top. You'll know about them next year around February or March. And you need to be a good communicator, of course. You also need to have patience as an SRC member, because you're going to meet students that are going to come cry in office. I don't have my allowance, you guys are not working, get out of here, go to DTF, and stuff like that. You get. So these are some of the type or the characters that we are usually met as an SRC member. So you need to be ready for such. So it's like a more where we cover really about being a leader. All those attributes also apply in being an SRC member. So I think I'm done.
Thank you for that. We are now going to be moving on to our closing remarks. And these are going to be coming from our former president, Mr. Patrick Motsebi.
Thank you, Director of Ceremonies. I take a part. Yes. My name is Patrick Motsebi. I served as the VUA president, the GS26 treasurer, and everything. So I'm a leader. If you have time, you talk to me. We don't have time now, so I can't share anything on that. The benefits I had includes going to University of Stellenbosch at Cape Town to represent the university on some seminar. I've also addressed their first years. I received countless amounts of money. I met Botswana investors like Sata Dada, Ramachandran Otipaku, and the like. So that's one of the benefits of being a leader. You get to meet different investors. But I would like to take this time to thank everyone for being here. If you have time, meet with the EC, talk to them on a personal level, just to understand more about the club and learn more about different activities. You will enjoy this club. Thank you.